The internet is arguably one of the most amazing marvels that we as the human race have ever created. The scope of information is unprecedented. There's nothing like it, obviously. There never has been. Library at Alexandria, meh. That this is the pinnacle at this point right now, the pinnacle. And I think that we as a people generally have a tendency to kind of take it for granted, the people who use it a lot. If you're watching this video, most likely you're watching it on the internet, and that's kind of amazing just of itself. But beyond the fact that it is a humongous information storage medium, it is a humongous communication medium. These are the things it was intended for. And then, of course, there are the naked pictures, which, you could argue one way or the other whether it was intended for that or not. One thing that I don't think it gets used enough for, I think that's good English, is inspiration. I think that the internet can inspire. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. So there are times you sit down at your painting table and it's time to start a new project. Let's say it's whatever. It's some sort of new project. Could be historical, could be fantastical, sci-fi, fantasy, whatever. A lot of people just sit and stare and think, man, I don't know how to make these guys look right, or I don't know what to do, or I'm just confused. We remember when you were a little kid and you were in art class and they would give you all the crayons and big box of 64 crayons and then give you as much construction paper as you could get your mitts on, and then you would sit there and say, I don't know what to draw. With the internet, that should never be ever a consideration. You always have something to draw from when you're thinking about, how do I want to start painting this miniature? Obviously, you have historicals. The internet is a great, vast knowledge warehouse filled with historical pictures, World War II, World War I, all that kind of stuff. If you're saying to yourself, I have all these German tanks for Flames of War, and I would really love to know how to make them look right, and how to paint them, and what to do with them. There are plenty of places online where you can go and see not only diagrams, but also old actual pictures from the 40s. You can even see pictures of them in museums. There's all kinds of things to draw from, obviously. We all kind of know that. Also, if you're going to be building terrain, if you're playing, say, something like Warhammer 40K, and everybody loves bombed out cityscapes in Warhammer 40K, there are tons and tons and tons of photos out there from World War II of bombed out cities in Europe that you can look at and go, oh, I see. So when the building is on fire and parts of it fall down, these window struts would stay. And that's rebar. Oh, I should try to work some rebar into my design, as opposed to just making another, foam core building that's kind of cut at an angle. And then you go, there you go. There's my corner. That's a ruin. You can really do a lot more. And the pictures that you can find just through something like Google search and just typing in World War II ruined buildings, those pictures can really help you to kind of bring your terrain stuff to the next level. But sometimes you want to paint things that don't exist. So reference isn't very good for you in that situation, is it? Not true. Let's say you're going to be painting something again, to go back to a Warhammer 40K, you want to paint some Tyranids. For lack of a better term, Tyranids are basically just giant space bugs. Let's just not split any hairs. They're not, fantastical alien beings, with a long evolutionary history. They just were like, we need to have some kind of aliens. How about bugs? Boom, ship it. That's what happened. So when you paint your Tyranids, your zoanthropes, your gene stealers, I think those are the only two I know the names of. Don't just go, well, I'll go look on the Games Workshop website and see what color they should be. Think about it. If they're giant space bugs, take some inspiration from Earth bugs. Just type in something like colorful insects and go to the Google search tab, and boom, you're going to get an amazing amount of stuff to draw from. You can grab parts of it. You can say, I like the back on this one, but I don't like the leg color, or I like this and I like that. You can mix and match. Make yourself something that's really different and inspired. If you're trying to follow a specific thing out of the book, okay, fine, you can do that. But if you're like, I don't want to go that direction, but I also don't know what I want to do, this is the way to do it. Take a look and see what nature has done already here on our planet, and then just kind of extrapolate it, and boom, you got yourself some Tyranids, and they look awesome. What about giant dragons in fantasy games? They don't exist, as far as you know. But they're basically just big lizards. So look up a bunch of lizards on Google Images or whatever your search engine of preference is. If you're one of those guys who likes Bing, I'm not going to judge. But you find those images and then you look at it and go, okay, I want to do this, I want to do that. It gives you ideas. Just straight even beyond looking at how other people have painted things. Like I said, look for actual pictures of actual lizards, not dragons, and then say, I could do it like this. Snakes would also work in that situation. If you're going to be painting something like an octopus, go look at actual pictures of octopuses. Those things actually exist. I've seen them. All of these things are available to you at the tips of your fingers, just with the typing, or maybe if you got a tablet, you could drag. But all of these things are something that you can use to make yourself a better painter. Better painter doesn't just mean you're better at actually putting paint on model. There's also the inspiration, there's color theory, there's tons of other things that are all going on up here and not here when you're actually painting a model. So we've built this technological marvel called the internet. You're obviously kind of sitting in front of it, most likely. Put it to use.